you can create a simple asset allocation spreadsheet using Google Sheets. Here we've created a fictional character who gets a weekly pay of $30. He spends his money on apples and oranges. He wants to buy 30% apples and 70% oranges, respectively. And it's also good to note this is not 30% of the quantity, but 30% of his money is spent on apples and 70% of his money is spent on oranges. They each have a price per pound, which is going to be set by the market. And based on the interaction between the price per pound, his desired allocation, and the weekly pay, he'll know the pounds that he has to buy each week. Let's take a look at how this would change. When the price per pound of an apple goes down, you buy more apples. And when the price per pound of an orange goes up significantly, you buy less oranges, still sticking to your money allocation for each resource. So let's take a look at how we could create a spreadsheet like this in the simple case. We're going to call this one new, and we're going to have our same guy here. Going to freeze the first row just in case we want to scroll down later if this is a larger sheet. Expand these guys out. And in this case, he's going to exist on lemons with a Z and limes. Weekly pay is going to be $40, just got a raise. And we're going to give these guys both an arbitrary price per pound. Desired allocation, I like limes a lot better than lemons, so I'm going to make them 75%. Now, in the other sheet, these numbers are formatted, and a quick way to do that is to just use the format, and we make these guys into currency, and we make these into percent. So the underlying number is still represented here, but in this case, it's just a little nicer to look at. And that way, when we run a calculation, we're still running a calculation with the real number we want. Figuring out our pounds per purchase is pretty simple. We use an equal sign to mean we want to do a computation with several of the other cells. And in this case, it's going to be our weekly pay, which is in column G, row 2, multiplied by our desired allocation, column C, row 2. You can see Google Sheets does that nice highlighting for you. And we're going to throw this all over B2. So that's our formula right there. That gives us our pounds per purchase. A beautiful number right there. Let's do the same thing down here, but instead of C2 and B2, we're going to want C3 and B3, while maintaining G2 because it's the same weekly pay. If we run that, we also get our pounds per purchase. And you can see that limes are severely undervalued in comparison to lemons, and we also have a high lime allocation. So in this case, we're actually buying a lot of limes. In addition, I would recommend formatting this row as well, just so it's a little nicer to read. If you use the number format, you get 2 decimals, which is usually enough to figure out. As these resources go up in price, we can see how our purchase per week will change in accordance with our allocation.